Think about it for a moment. Every single time you move money, check your investments, or, well, even just glancing your balance online,
Mm.
you're placing this huge amount of trust in these financial companies. It's like giving someone the keys to your most private digital information. But what happens when that trust gets shaken? When even the most secure systems show a crack? Today, we're going deep on a recent security incident. It involves Wealthsimple, the big Toronto-based firm. They handle what? Over $84.5 billion in assets for more than 3 million Canadians. Huge scale. So our mission, based on our source, Wealthsimple data breach, fund secure, personal information exposed, is to really unpack what went down, what data got out, what stayed safe, and crucially, what this all means for you. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating, I find, is how quickly these stories break and then, well, the details, the important nuance, it often gets lost in those first headlines. It's so important to get past that surface level, understand the specifics, to really know your actual risk here.
Absolutely. Headlines can be misleading.
This incident really drives home that difference between your money being safe and your personal data being safe. Understanding that difference, well, that's where the real knowledge is.
Right. So let's get into the how. Wealthsimple spotted the breach back on August 30th. And the source, it wasn't Wealthsimple directly, but a compromised software package from a trusted third party.
Ah, the third-party risk.
Exactly. It always makes me think. It's like you lock your front door meticulously, right?
Yeah, right.
But maybe the cleaner you trust left the spare key somewhere unexpected. That third-party angle is just a constant worry.
It really is. It's what we call a supply chain vulnerability. An attack on one company can unfortunately just cascade down to its clients. And just for perspective, Wealthsimple said this affected fewer than 1% of their clients.
Fewer than 1%. Still a lot of people when you're talking millions of clients, but okay, it gives context.
It does help frame the scope, yeah.
So with that clarified, the big question, what exactly did the attackers get? And maybe just as vital, what did they not get? Our source lays it out. The exposed data included things like contact information, okay,
Right.
government IDs, account numbers, social insurance numbers, wow. Also IP addresses and dates of birth.
Yeah.
When I saw that list, government IDs, SINs, that feels like a whole other level of exposure, doesn't it?
It absolutely is. That kind of PII, personally identifiable information, it's basically gold for bad actors. Seeing a list like that, the immediate thought goes to long-term identity theft. That's the real danger.
Not just phishing emails then.
No, much bigger. We're talking potentially fraudulent accounts, loans taken out in your name. It can haunt you for years.
Yeah.
However, and this is crucial, Wealthsimple was very clear. No customer funds were touched, no passwords compromised either.
Okay, that's huge.
It is. They explicitly said, quote, all customer accounts remain secure. And the access itself was apparently brief, so the money's safe. That distinction often gets buried in the initial, panic.
Definitely vital. But, even with funds secure, having your SIN or government ID out there, for a lot of people, that feels almost as devastating because of that long-term identity theft risk you mentioned.
Right.
And before Wealthsimple clarified things, there was some chatter, right? People trying to link it to those Salesforce issues.
Or even shiny hunters. Exactly. Which, just highlights how quickly misinformation can spread in these situations. It's tough to verify things fast. But Wealthsimple did issue a formal statement. They said very clearly this incident is not connected to Salesforce and also not connected to shiny hunters. That's that well-known cybercrime group involved in data theft and extortion. This was separate.
Yeah, they clarified that. And to be fair, they seem to be taking steps for the affected customers. They're offering 2 years of free credit monitoring, also dark web surveillance, which is interesting.
Yeah, that means they'll watch those hidden marketplaces to see if your data pops up for sale.
Right. Plus identity theft protection insurance.
And they gave the usual advice, too. Use two-factor authentication, don't reuse passwords, watch out for fake emails, standard stuff, but always worth repeating.
All good steps. And this whole thing really, it spotlights a bigger trend, doesn't it? For the whole fintech sector. These companies, like Wealthsimple, they're expanding rapidly. Trading, crypto, tax filing, digital banking, all sorts of services now.
Yeah, they do everything.
And with each new service, especially ones using third-party integrations, the potential attack surface just grows. Think trading platforms, crypto wallets. This interconnectedness makes the whole fintech world a really attractive target. It's a constant challenge for them.
So, wrapping this up,
Yeah.
What's the core takeaway here for you listening?
Well, it seemed clear. Your money with Wealthsimple was safe in this case. That's the good news. But a lot of sensitive personal data was exposed. It just highlights this tricky balance in digital finance, convenience versus security.
Exactly that. It's a continuous battle for these tech-heavy financial institutions to keep data locked down. And it really underlines how important it is for us as individuals to be vigilant, protecting our own digital identity. Even small bits of data, combined with other pieces. Sometimes that's all attackers need, like putting together a jigsaw puzzle of who you are.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? As our financial lives go more and more digital, and we see even trusted platforms aren't immune, how do we, as users, properly weigh that convenience against these real ongoing risks to our personal info?